Hello and welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. And you're welcome to the live watch along at Republic of Ireland against Luxembourg. And I'm joined here by Ger, Joe, and Ethan. So how's it going, lads?
I have to tell you, that countdown music is an absolute jam. I was here vibing to myself. I was having a great time. But other than that, fantastic, yeah. Looking forward to it. Should be a handy 3 points, even though apparently Luxembourg are looking good. I know they give Qatar a hard time. We all know Qatar are a force of nature in football at the moment. So obviously this is going to be real top-tier stuff.
Not too bad, Gary. Obviously on a bit of a high early on with St. Pat's victory. So I've got one win out of the way with for today. So hopefully we're adding to 2 wins to that as well. And I have to say, very impressed with how we've had the 4 of us here. We've all 4 sides of Ireland covered with the south, the west, the east, and the north. So that was well planned. And of course, we might as well get on to Ethan. And while we're getting on to Ethan, how is that statue going of Ollie Horgan and Ballybuffet after last night?
It's in progress. Unfortunately, I live in Dublin, so I'm not out of Iceland at the minute. So but I've been reliably informed it's well underway.
He was a big hit in social media today, so he was.
Yeah, he's always a big hit. Him talking about the little Korean fella at Dundalk. You know, it was a big danger man last night, so he gave him his dues.
Oh, he's unbelievable. So Ollie just keeps doing it again and again, perhaps. You know, and as a Limerick fan, I know well how well he's done already. So.
Okay, yeah, it's a bit close to your heart. Ollie's a legend. He's always, even out of the game yesterday, and even just the kind of not touching entertainment, but you know, he kicks every ball, he heads every clearance. He's just living the game as it's going on, and I'm delighted he's kind of getting this kind of just rewards now.
Anyway, lads, maybe on to tonight's game. What do you think of the lineup? First of all, Gavin Bazunu in goal. He dropped Mark Travers. What are your thoughts, Jared?
Sorry, go on, Chris.
I wouldn't have gone for it. I would have stuck with Travers for tonight. I just think that it's just not good kind of to destroy the young lads' kind of confidence after the other night. He was asked about yesterday in the press conference, didn't give much away. Now he kind of gave your typical manager's response saying everyone is fighting for starting place and there's no guarantees. But I just kind of felt like for the game that's going to be in it tonight, like no disrespect to Luxembourg, and I know obviously the preview with Ben, he says they're going to give this a right goal tonight. But you'd still be thinking, like, from a goalkeeping point of view, it should be kind of a quiet enough night. You stand by your number one. Like, he was very vocal before the Serbia game that Travers was going to be his number one for that game. You presumed he was going with this match as well. But look, at the end of the day, you have to stand by the manager's decision, and hopefully it works out for Gavin tonight, and so we get a clean sheet and 3 points.
Sorry, guys. Whoever's got the sound up, can you turn it down completely? It's coming very loudly, clearly on the stream. It's still on.
Yeah, whoever did that.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, Joe.
Whichever one of you.
Sorry, lads. Sorry, that's me. Like, look, I'm just a bit ignorant. Sorry.
We blame the Guinness.
Have you any comments, Joe, on Gavin Bazunu instead of Mark Travers?
I think it was a great call, and this is why I really like Kenny, because he's not one for just going for someone for the sake of it, whether just you want to say presumed loyalties or anything like that. The fact is, Travers cost us at least 1 goal the other night. You could say from the shot that Mitrovic took, it could have been 1 in a million that even went in, but for the fact that he was so caught that bad out of position. And overall, I don't think he did anything in the game to be said he should definitely start the next game going forward. And then you have Bazuna, who is another upcoming keeper. The both of them are around the same age, who would be going, well, what do I have to do to get in? Do you know, when can I not prove myself, since this guy got his debut and didn't prove himself? So I think Kenny weighed up his options and went, if Travers had conceded 3 goals the other night, but they were pretty much not his fault, I think he would be starting tonight. But you have to promote and demote when it's necessary, and I think that's what he's doing. If this was a different manager, I think Travers probably would be in for another game, but I think it's the right move, and I'm glad he did it.
What are your thoughts, Ethan? The right move?
I think I probably agree more with Jer. I'll kind of come out and say I don't feel very strongly either way because of maybe the opposition, which I might be proven wrong by having that opinion, but I just kind of think it's not a massive deal in this particular game. I can see the point where it's good that there's that accountability and not just willing to stand pat for the sake of it with his team selection. But on the other hand, I think I agree with Jer in that for a young player's confidence like that, it wouldn't really have done any harm to give him another game. Maybe bit kind of less jitters. Kind of go out and get a bit of confidence into him going forward.
But I will say on that, okay, what is the best thing Travers can get from this game? If he keeps a clean sheet, it's a clean sheet against Luxembourg. If he concedes, he concedes against Luxembourg. He's not going to come out of the game and go, I did well. If anything, your confidence is going to be more shot. If we were playing someone like Portugal or someone, a top-tier nation, I'd be more inclined to say, well, keep him in. But for the fact that it is Luxembourg as well, he's going to gain nothing from it. Other than... Go for it.
I disagree in that I know what you're saying about like the opposition and maybe the result. But if you think about the manager's confidence and the faith, that's something altogether. And that, he probably feels right now he does, Stephen Kenny has no faith in him, which, might be the case. That's fair enough. But that's something that is very, very hard to earn back then.
It is as well, but he had to do that at his club as well, and as well at his country. But if he's kind of been seen as being the guaranteed third choice, it's going to drop his fight in all regards. So I think he'll go back to his club and be like, okay, I need a loan move or I need to do something so I can push myself up the pecking order again, because that first choice goalkeeper is going to it's going to be Kelleher's the next time it's around, like unless something drastic happens, like it did happen today. So I think Travers and Travers mainly needs to go and fight for his place at both club and country now, which I think is a good thing because competition is healthy and it grows everyone.
Yeah, I'm not too happy actually, because my concern is, Mark Travers is probably feeling awful tonight, and it could do him a lot of damage. He's still, 22, and I don't know if probably if you want to be ruthless, it's the right move to make sure we win the game and Gavin Bazunu gets his chance. But it will have damaged Mark Travers' confidence, and he's had a rough time at a club level anyway. He's been on the bench at Bournemouth. He tried to go out and loan to Swindon and got recalled, so he's had very little game time, and that's my concern. Now, I don't know about Queven Kelleher being first choice next time round, because Darren Randolph will hopefully be back as well.
No, I'm sorry. I meant first of the rest. I meant not so much the first choice. But I still think if there's no reason why Kelleher, I think it's Kelleher and Randolph fighting for it, because they're both second goalkeepers. It's just one has played higher level games and played a lot better recently. So I genuinely think it's a fight for first choice. But I still think Randolph has the edge, just by experience.
Okay. It's just about 8 minutes.
I do think that in that situation. Sorry, Gary, you could just finish.
Sorry, Jerry, you finish your point. No, finish your point. We'll go on to something else. Yeah.
Sorry, just could be a problem all night with the delay in the internet. But just on that kind of point as well, like I would have actually gone with Bazunu on Wednesday night, like without kind of saying now and everything else with hindsight. But like what happened with Travers tonight, I did kind of fear it, as Joel kind of touched on there with club form. I know he had a brilliant debut for Bournemouth, getting man of the match against Spurs in Premier League, but he has been prone to mistakes ever since. He made a couple of mistakes in the Premier League match last season against Watford. He was Bournemouth's first choice at the start of the season, but he made a couple of mistakes in that game as well. In their opening game against Blackburn, they actually lost that match as well, and their then manager at the time never put him back in. So I was kind of afraid that that trend would kind of continue, and it did kind of happen the other night. But look, at the end of the day, we have to stand by Stephen Kenny and the team, and we've just made a decent enough start so far in these opening 9 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a bit of a flurry from Luxembourg at the start, but we've got we've kind of pressed them back now in the last few minutes, and Alan Brown came very close there. Well, he's been given as a free out, but it was a good delivery. Matt Doherty got down the right, which I think we're going to hope to see a lot of tonight, because that's one way of opening them up. In our preview with Ben from Luxembourg Footy, he did mention that their only left-sided defender is out. He got injured against Qatar during the week. So that's an area they're concerned about. And it was good to see us get clear down the right and put a decent cross in. And Matt Doherty seems to be injured now that I'm looking. I've been just talking him up. I hope he's going to be all right.
At the same time, in the last game as well, he went down with... Well, obviously he finished that game, so I wonder if it'd be the same for this, but it doesn't look very promising.
I think, I mean, assuming if he's okay to go on, I think that's something maybe we need more of. Do when we have someone that has that ability going down the wing, we need to try and exploit it more. Like we discussed during the Serbia game, we didn't really see much out of him in terms of trying to get on the front foot and attack. And I think it's kind of a waste when he's so talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've definitely gone. The
I think
formation
he's gone.
definitely gets the best out of Matt Doherty. You think he's gone off? Is it or?
I think he's going to go. Yeah, it doesn't look.
It looks like they motioned for a sub anyway.
Okay.
I think he's trying to run it off, if anything, for a few
Yeah,
minutes.
I think he's okay. Yeah, I think he's.
Yeah.
I think
just
he's still
don't
on the pitch. Yeah.
I don't read all their kind of hand signals that well. It's kind of hard to tell when you're watching on the TV.
Oh god.
See, as far as I can see, Matt Doherty's still on the pitch.
He's coming chasing down now, putting a bit of pressure on.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Just to say now, we're on about, I know we're a good bit into the game, but just continue with the rest of the lineup. The other two changes, seeing Jason Malumbi and James Collins coming in, and obviously we knew Aaron Connolly who'd been ruled out through injury. I know there was a mix-up in communications yesterday, but we definitely been confirmed now. And Jason Malumbi, who probably hasn't played much football at club level, so
it's
Jason
Malumbi
Jason Knight is in. Jason Knight's in for Jason Malumbi.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's Malumbi along with Connolly, the two players to make way. So, what do you make of them two changes? Obviously, Jason Knight is a promising young player at Derby, done well in his few appearances in the Nations League, and Collins obviously had a good impact getting that second goal the other night when he came on.
Oh, good tackle. Oh, free.
Yeah, Collins, I think, for me, Collins is the obvious replacement for Aaron Connolly, given that he was out. I was a bit surprised at Jason Knight. Yeah, he's certainly been in great form for Derby, but I thought Jason Malumbi had a good first half, maybe faded a bit in the second because of the lack of game time. That's why he was taken off. But I think the key thing is Stephen's watching these players in training, and he's obviously seen something in the last couple of days, and I presume that's where the decision has come from. Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean the same thing. And what I found very interesting too, and another reason why I think Stephen Kenny is brilliant, is that because it's a qualifier, people would presume that Brady or Hendrick would just be brought in as an Malumbi out of the three in midfield. You would say he had the weakest game out of the three, but you'd imagine that you would have brought in some Premier League proven players. But no, he's gone with his gut again. He wants with youth players with looking at the future. And Jason Knight has been playing very well. Derby aren't doing great this season, but he's very highly regarded there. So I say there was every opportunity that he was going to get run at some point. He was going to start at some point over these three games. I'm just really happy it is tonight, and I want to see them both play at some point. So I was especially want to see Jason Knight. So I'm happy enough with the change. But I do agree. I thought Malumbi did well. He just sort of faded in the second half against Serbia.
Ethan, what are your thoughts? Jason Knight over Jason Malumbi?
I probably would have liked to see Malumbi start again along with Cullen in the midfield as to maybe try and grow that partnership a bit, and because I think they did quite well. And whenever Malumbi came off against Serbia, things maybe started to kind of go downwards and kind of get worse for us. So I would like to see. He only got 60 minutes, so I would have liked to have seen him play more tonight. But he could be struggling with the game time, having not played too much at press at the minute. So, it's not kind of a massive deal, but I would have probably stuck with Malumbi for the game.
Offside, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, offside.
Yeah. Okay. It's a free out to Luxembourg.
It was a good move down the left-hand side. Robinson.
Yeah. 14 minutes gone now. It's still scoreless. Apart from that early flurry, we've had most of the possession and been pushing Luxembourg back all right. But no clear-cut chances yet.
Robinson has been very impressive as well. Very energetic and very, very up for it, which is great to see. Because he's playing this more comfortable central position, which he wasn't always getting under McCarthy and rarely seen over O'Neill.
And I think James Collins
game on Wednesday night.
Yeah, James Collins did well enough when he came on as well, I think, to justify his start and scoring the goal as well. It was probably a close one between James Collins and Shane Long. But I think probably James Collins was the right call with Shane. I think Shane Long, will definitely see him off the bench.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And I thought he was exceptional when he came on as well. Like, I think his assist was really brilliant for James Collins, really quick thinking and a lot of ingenuity, which is always great to see and something that we have been lacking. So let's hope he can bring more of it. And I'm kind of surprised to see starting is Kieran Clark, if I'm being honest, because I didn't think he had a very good game against Serbia at all, as we said in the post-match players rating. But I suppose who else is on the bench that could actually replace him?
Duffy.
Shane Duffy, I suppose, is the
Shane
obvious
Duffy,
call.
he's obvious. Sorry, of
Darragh
course, Shane
Linehan.
Duffy. Linehan, he deserves a shout as well. He's playing quite well at Blackburn.
Oh,
But I think
Clark.
Kieran Clark is
Just
playing
around there.
regularly. He's playing
Here's
regularly,
Ireland.
but he did clear it. He's playing
Yeah,
regularly in the Premier League, which we don't have too many regular starters in the Premier League.
That's true.
Yeah. Just even on the Collins and Long situation, I think Kenny will also kind of been looking at it as in like which one of the two will be a better impact player to bring on as a sub if the game is still tight. Like Long traditionally, I think has always been better for Ireland off the bench, and he will be a better player suited because he's a quick, fast player. He'll run the channels. Collins is more physical, direct kind of player that he will be a better player from the start. Whereas if you were to bring him on with 15, 20 minutes to go, he's not someone who's going to utilise tired legs as much as Shane Long would.
Yeah, I like the pairing of maybe the more physical Collins and Robinson up front, who's quicker, kind of willing to maybe run the channels and put a cross in like he did for Alan Byrne there on Wednesday night. I think I'd like to see that partnership develop.
A great run there by Jason Knight, actually, who's just been taken off him at the hardware line. But that was
that was great.
Quite a run. Yeah. He's already showing what he can do in the game, which is it's a good start.
Yeah. We need that, I think. I think that was something that whenever we needed to chase the game in Serbia, we didn't have someone driving from midfield looking to take people on and really kind of get people up the pitch with them. It was all like, kind of passing horizontally and, maybe trying to get a long ball up the wing rather than driving through the middle.
I'm wondering...
Yeah, and he's also a goal threat as well, of course, with his time with Derby,
I'm just wondering if there's many nerves because this is the first game under Kenny where we should definitely win. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no argument against it. So I'm just wondering if how the lads are dealing with that because we desperately need a win tonight. Like there's no excuse otherwise.
Yeah. No, I think anything other than a win is a total disaster.
Good build up play here.
Forced to save over the yeah.
Great cross in by Robinson. And was it Collins? It was a fantastic move. A lot of players involved. Stevens involved. Cullen playing out the back as well. Really good passage play from Ireland. And we come again now on the right hand side. With Collins Cullen with another good ball.
It's a free, is it? Free
kick. Definitely them last two passages of play much better from Ireland.
Yeah, it was a good save from their keeper. Actually, he did well to save. It was,
that. Here's the replay of it now. Well done. Who? Oh yeah,
Collins. Yeah,
Collins. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good opening possession though, and we moved the ball. Passing was very crisp and very quick, which was good to see.
I think that's key for us, though. I think we need to be quick on the attack because we don't have, a stereotypical maybe number 10, an elite kind of passer or someone to unlock a defense. So I think when we're, it needs to be kind of quick and fast movement.
Yeah, should play this. I think you should play this short tonight. Have a go.
Yeah, the free kick's been cleared for a corner. I think.
Yeah. Jeez, you could tell the future.
I'm still a few seconds out of my. It's close.
Yeah, well, I actually had to refresh my stream, and I think I'm more on par with you now, Gary. So
I think I'm the same as you, Joe. I had to refresh mine as well, but I've gone back to probably being maybe that 2 or 3 seconds behind.
No, I've never had to refresh, so I don't know what'll happen with me.
I'll say nothing. You'll catch me like waiting for someone else to react.
Yeah. We'll have to delay the celebrations for a few seconds each, and it's all right.
Yeah. Well, with VAR, I'm well used to it these days, so don't worry.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, VAR is a good talking point. There was no VAR the other night, and if there had been, would we've got a penalty at 1-1?
I hate VAR a lot, but except when it comes to Ireland, I would have taken it every single day of the week. But it was for me, it was a penalty. I know we were discussing it the other night, and we said it wasn't, but on replays, he definitely does get Connolly first. before he gets to the ball, and I think for sure it's a penalty. Now, if the opposite way around, I might be saying something different. But for this anyway, I'm definitely saying I think it was a penalty.
I think we might have had a penalty, but I also, if we had VAR, the way VAR gives decisions, Coleman probably would have been pulled up for the one where he fell over.
Yes.
So I get
Yeah.
the point Stephen Kenny's making, but I think if VAR is there, you also get all the nonsense with VAR, where they call the things that are totally unintentional and not really part of the game. So I think we probably would have got caught on both ends.
It's quite bizarre.
The only thing about it, though, is if you give the first penalty and we score, the whole play changes, so they wouldn't have been in the situation to get the second penalty.
That's true.
That's always true. Yeah, so definitely any situation that leads to us getting a penalty, I'm all for that. And I have to say, Luxembourg manager has a lovely jacket on. He's a bit of a Del boy.
Luxembourg might be it might be a small country, but it's actually a very wealthy country. They have a lot of financial services and everything there.
That's right.
They're probably all pretty wealthy.
Oh, but it's not. It's what's it? It's not a country. It's a principality.
A duchy. It's a grand duchy.
Oh, they're doing grand, all right. But yeah, they're absolutely minted for it's only. I think it's got a population like 60 or 80,000 or something mad like that.
If you have enough money, you can actually rent the country for a night.
Jesus.
How much money is that?
I'm not wealthy enough to actually bother looking. You know, if you need to ask the price, you can't afford it. So,
I think Ethan would have been buying Finn Harps at this stage if he could afford to rent Luxembourg for the night. You know?
Did you not check between your couch cushions? You might be able to afford Finn Harps.
No.
Yeah, I was only noticing.
Now would be a good time to invest as well, just before the Champions League run next season.
Yeah, well, at the minute we don't actually even have a front of jersey sponsor. So, anyone watching the stream with a few bob, give me a DM there, and we'll talk.
We're just halfway through the first half now, and it's still scoreless. I think it's a free kick to Luxembourg there or something, but the last few minutes have been even enough, really. We had a bit of dominance, but Luxembourg have come back into the game more, and they do seem very comfortable on the ball. They do seem to like to have possession. They're certainly not sticking 10 men behind the ball, but
I think they're playing without any fear. They're they probably think, Stephen, they haven't won in 9-10 games. Let's go out here and give it a laugh. There's no fans. So there's a big thing, I guess, that we haven't mentioned yet is that the lack of fans in the Viva tonight. So there's not the atmosphere to kind of drive on our team. And so for an away team, they'll be thinking, here, you're never going to get a better shot at them.
But as well as that, I completely agree with what you're saying, Ethan. But teams like Luxembourg, San Marino, Gibraltar, teams like that, why not set up what you got, play to your strengths, but also try to play a bit of football, because the likelihood is you're going to lose anyway. You might as well instill into your team a sense of actually trying to have a go. That's what I think.
I hope you're right.
there is some good news from Belgrade, because Diego Jota has put Portugal 1-0 up, so they lead in Belgrade, which is exactly the result we need as a Portuguese win. And a major shock from our old friends in Slovakia. After 24 minutes, they're 2-0 down at home to Malta.
Oh my God!
It's unbelievable, and maybe our draw and penalty shootout loss wasn't such a. Maybe it was a worse result than we're looking at, because.
Of course, they have to wait till now to be shit, don't they? It's fucking typical.
Oh, the ball was broken here for Luxembourg.
I think they were there for the taking that night as well. We just couldn't take advantage.
Yeah.
I'll say, even if you look at the Collins chance tonight, the amount of almost nearly chances for Stephen Kenny that just haven't found the back of the net. There were a couple that night. It seems you get one or two a game where somehow, some way, the ball just doesn't hit the back of the net.
It was Alan Brown that night, was it? Was it Alan Brown who had the off?
Conor Hurland as well, had one cleared off the line as well.
Yeah, we had a couple of great chances, but they were missing. They were missing quite a few players through COVID as well. I mean, it probably was a great opportunity to grab a win.
But don't forget that day that day we had Aaron Connolly and Adam Ida like ruled out, which is going to make anything a lot more difficult. But what can you do?
Gavin Bazunu dealt very well there with a cross. It'd probably give him a bit of confidence now. He is very confident. He's only 19, but he's a very confident young goalkeeper. He made his debut for Shamrock Rovers at 16. He played in the Europa League at 16. So,
although unfortunately for Gavin, he came up to Donegal and got beat 3-0 in the under-17s cup final by the Finn Harps under-17s. So he's bounced back well from that kind of crushing defeat. So I'm really happy to see him.
Still haunts him to this day.
Yeah,
yeah.
They say he would be Irish #1 now if it wasn't for that defeat.
Exactly. Look, maybe Mark Travers could have done with one of them. I don't know.
There's actually a good story about him on that trip to Cork for his debut, and Cork were league champions at the time. He was sitting on the bus, 16 years of age, on his own, on his phone, and one of the coaches got a bit concerned and went over and sat beside him and said, "Look, everything all right?" And you hit up. He says, "Oh yeah." He says, "I've just watched Kieran Sadlier's last 5 penalties on my phone." And of course, in that game, it finished 0-0. But of course, Gavin Bazunu saved the Kieran Sadlier penalty. So it just shows 16 years of age and to have the temperament to handle his debut and then to do the research off his own bat, not even with the coaches to help him out or anything. And
I'd be there on a meditation app or something to kind of stop me, shitting myself, not researching penalties.
By the way, Gary, I absolutely love how you say debut.
Okay.
Sorry, I can listen to it all day. Debut.
Is that my Limerick accent?
Yeah. We'll put it down to that.
I'm 27 years in Dublin, but probably haven't lost it yet.
No, not yet. Oh, I'd never lose it. But Kieran Sadlier is doing quite well as well. Listen, he's at Doncaster, isn't he?
Yeah, there's many people actually feel he should. He's worth a shout to get in the squad now these days because he is playing well, even if it is at League One. But we have got players from League One in the squad.
Yeah,
he's well regarded over there too.
Is Sadler not gone to Rotherham?
Is that not Richie Towell or Richie? No, he's
with
Salford. I will tell you.
Maybe it's at Rotherham. Yeah,
I think he transferred there in the summer, but he was injured himself, and obviously Trevor.
He's at Rotherham. Yep, played 11 times this season.
Lovely. But Richie Towell's the one that is like depresses me when I think about it. It's such a great talent that just went nowhere.
He's very unlucky with injuries, Richie.
Yeah,
I think nowhere's been harsh.
Very unlucky.
Yeah.
And I mean, he won the the Johnson Paint Trophy or whatever the equivalent is with Salford there.
Papa John's.
That's right.
Look. the Harvey Norman Invitational Tournament. Yeah, he won that.
The Pizza Cup. They only held it for a single day because Sunderland. That was the 2020 final that Salford won, held over from last year, and Sunderland won the 2021 final a day later. So it must be the shortest. It must be a record for your shortest time as a cup holder for one.
It's almost like one of those WWE kind of title belts where someone sneaks in and kind of beats the champion that's just been fighting for 2 hours.
The hardcore title, I think it was. There's the jacket again.
It certainly looks expensive anyway. I'll give it.
Yeah,
give you that.
Fair play to him. Jeez, he's really short. Come on, don't take it off.
Do you reckon we can get Paul into the post-match presser to ask where he got it?
Just a comment in here from Dan Kelly. Desperately need a set piece specialist on the pitch. What are your thoughts on that, guys?
I guess you could make the argument that that's what Robbie Brady would be kind of playing for, but we're missing Conor Hurahan, who's fantastic at set pieces as we know, and who's in great form in the championship at the minute. Yeah. So given the kind of the amount of injuries and stuff, I think you can't pick a player just because he's good at set pieces as well if you think that someone like Jason Knight will give you more.
Yeah, and we shouldn't be relying on that. I know that unfortunately, that is what we've been doing as of late. But we shouldn't be relying on someone just for free kicks and corners. And like Alan Brown is good enough to, let's go nowhere, to fill in. And then if it gets into the last, 75 minutes or whatever like that, and you need someone come on, then you have ready to do that. But it's something we shouldn't have to rely on.
Ball him. I don't know. It's gonna go nowhere.
What you reckon, Ger? Should we have Robbie Brady or somebody in for their set piece delivery?
Yeah, I can see where he's kind of coming from, but like that message is kind of, you'd nearly swear it was a message that we 10 minutes ago kind of wax up desperation. Like the game is still kind of very early on, but I get where you're kind of coming from. Like obviously Robbie Brady would be the easy, obvious choice that with Conor Hourhand's injury, but you'd have to question then like what else is Robbie Brady going to contribute onto the pitch compared to someone like Jason Knight. Another thing against Robbie as well, like I've noticed it quite a lot when he plays with Burnley this season. He struggles to see out large periods of games. There's even been times where he's come on as a substitute for Burnley and he's had to be taken off 20, 30, 40 minutes later because he's just struggling with injury. So like I think there's no two ways, but I think that's again probably something Stephen is looking at, that if this game is still 0-0 with like half an hour to go, he's probably like, right, we just need to get a goal any which way. Robbie could be a man then, because he'll be able to see out that ends for a period of the match. He has a fantastic free kick. He has a fantastic corner on him. I kind of agree. Like Gerrit Days is coming from, like Adam Brown on the set pieces the other night. I thought it was a bit disappointing. So far tonight, been okay, but it's probably not at Robbie's standard.
Yeah, and
I
like you
certainly
said, Robbie.
think
Sorry, go on, Gary.
Yeah, I was just certainly going to say, I think there is a difference in quality when you have somebody like Robbie Brady on the pitch delivering the set pieces, which could just make the difference to opening them up. But I don't think Robbie is carrying an injury. I mean, he hasn't been fully right for Burnley for a few weeks now, so I think probably it makes sense to keep him on the bench. Sorry, Ethan, I cut you off there.
No, you're fine. I was gonna just kind of agree with Jared that I anticipated he'd probably come on later on in this game, and like he did against Serbia, and it was actually, I think, it was his, I guess, kind of punt forward that led to the James Collins goal.
Is that free? Is it
free for Luxembourg? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's right. The three subs contributed to our second goal. So that, but unfortunately, like Jer was saying, like you can't trust Robbie Brady for 90 minutes until he gets back up to some sort of level of fitness.
Yeah.
He's a 20, 30 minute, and that's kind of it. Unless you want to put him on, then take him off after half an hour. So, and I'm glad we didn't do that. And I'm glad Hendrick isn't starting either. Like, I think this, unfortunately, we're just at a stage where I think this game won't be as clean cut as we want it to be, unfortunately. But I think it's just a case of these lads are still getting used to playing with each other, which will come in time. But I mean,
but the games are never clear cut. We played Gibraltar and win 1-0. We've played Georgia 100 times. We normally win 1-0 with Scuttery and off goal. So I don't know why people thought, we're going to play Luxembourg and win 8-0. Like, it's just not the way it's happened. Number one, because Luxembourg are better than that. That's not even a reflection on us. It's just they're not a bad side. Although there is Joe in the comments, we're at home to Luxembourg and we're talking about nicking a goal from a set piece. It's like, Joe, them's the breaks.
Touch it run. Okay.
Yeah, it is a game, though. I don't think if we don't win tonight, I think I agree we were never going to win 8-0, but I think it is definitely a must win. I mean, we would be expected to always beat a team like Luxembourg, even though they've improved and they're better than they were. We would still be expected to win tonight. Now there's still a long way to go. It's not even half time yet, but
I think
we probably would be expected to be opening them up there. But it's probably a fair comment, Joe. It's
I think especially when it gets into the last 25 minutes or so, when Luxembourg start to tire, that's where really we should really be able to open them up then. But this is. But
are they going to tire anymore? I mean, these guys aren't playing they're not semi-professionals anymore. I mean, they've got guys playing with Dynamo Kiev, with Racing Santander, with Mainz in the Bundesliga, with Standard Liège. So,
that's true, actually.
I don't think we can rely on them tiring. I mean, I think we have better players and we should. It is a question of just opening them up, maybe being a bit patient, keep the crisp passing going. Well, I suppose we get back to the crisp passing because I think it had been good earlier on, but it's not so obvious anymore. But that's the way you're going to beat them. But or else a set piece to the big man and head it in.
We'll take anything.
Whatever way, we just have to find a way to win tonight because I think it's absolutely crucial to buy Stephen the time that he gets the win.
Yeah.
I think if we see a double substitution where Robbie Brady and Shane Duffy come on, okay, then we definitely know that. Just win corners and put Duffy up on the penalty yard box. But even just going back to Ethan's point and what you were kind of saying, Gary, I think patience is going to be key tonight. Like as Ethan has touched on, like I could even go back as far as Trapattoni's time. We never beat the minnows or the lowest ranked team in the group that comfortably. Even that time under Trapp when we qualified for Euro 2012, like when we bet Andorra 3-1 at home, I'm sure everyone probably put 6 or 7 past Andorra. It's just a case of we just have to get a goal somehow. Like that game against Georgia a couple of years ago, Seamus Coleman scored a goal. I'd say he still doesn't know how to this day. Like it's just patience, and we'll take the goal whatever way it kind of comes. Like,
yeah, you're dead right. The last one I remember beating was we beat Gibraltar 7-0 or 6-0 twice or 7-0 twice, whichever one it was.
Something like that.
Where Robbie Keane scored he scored a hat trick.
Yeah, it was 7 at home. And he was only 4-0 or so away or something like. It wasn't as big away, but still, it was comfortable enough in those days. Yeah.
But that's how Robbie Keane got to be top goal scorer for us because he scored in those 2 games. I think
they all count.
Yeah, and do you know what annoyed me as well about that? First of all, it's a typical Irish thing to not really respect your sports when you have
your fantastic player. Yeah.
And like Robbie Keane got dogs abuse for years, and like who did he score against? Oh, he only scored against the young lads, which we know is not true. But then you look at all their teams and the fact that we can't score against them now, and you realise how important he was. Do you know?
Yeah.
It's.
Well, I mean, you can name some of the teams Robbie scored, and I'll probably forget a couple. But he scored against the Dutch. He scored against Spain. He scored against Germany. He scored against Italy. He scored against France. You name a big major footballing power in Europe, and Robbie scored against them. So he got 68 goals for Ireland, and the next in the line I think is 21. So that puts that in perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And and like you're saying, like Gary, you're dead right. And the thing is, not every major like best striker from a mad country in the Premier League shows up for the country. Because you look at the likes of Mark Viduka, who was around at the same time. He played like 7 times for Australia. I think he only scored like 14 goals or something like that. So for the fact that Robbie showed up and played every game that was available, because don't forget the amount of caps he has, like he does not get near enough credit that he deserves. And I think
it might have changed now, but when he retired, he was joint 4th in Europe all-time goal scorers, and the highest goal scorer in these islands in international football.
Yeah,
I mean, so and he's still definitely the highest in these islands.
Yeah.
So it's some it's some phenomenal, and unfortunately we really miss him, and we'll probably never see the likes of him again. And I wish we could have him back. Sorry, Joe. Are you putting the point down on something? It keeps tinging every time you put the point down.
Sorry. It's just on the table.
It comes through very loud, and when you okay.
Portugal are 2-0 up in Serbia. Diego Jota
very
again.
Good. Yeah. It just shows how hard it is for us when we play Portugal. But at least we don't want Serbia taking anything from their games with Portugal.
Exactly.
At least it gives us the chance.
So the only positive, even just from that point of view, that we could take from this, the fact that Luxembourg are proven to be a tough nut to crack down and to break down, is that they could be a nightmare for Serbia. You just wouldn't know. Like, how often has it been we've fortunate from other teams, like so Georgia taking points off Scotland, that we've got into qualifying. Armenia at that time as well. They were a nightmare for us.
Is it still in? It's still in? Oh!
I think it's gone out. I'd say it's gone out. Yeah.
And
Alan Brown there was had a chance. He was kind of throwing the goal a bit wide, but unfortunately, he just took it over the line.
Great ball again by Cullen. I've been very impressed with Cullen's passing again tonight.
Yeah, he does control the central midfield area.
Is it gone? Yeah, it's well gone. That's well gone.
I don't share your optimism, Ger, though, because I still think Serbia will have enough to take care of Luxembourg home and away. And I think it's absolutely imperative we win tonight. I think
Gary, we're living in a pandemic. We have to be positive about something.
any result tonight other than a win, and I think whatever faint hopes we have of qualifying for Qatar are probably over. But there's still plenty of time left. There's about 5 minutes to half time, and
loads of time.
Yeah, we got the whole second half as well.
Gary, we're definitely winning the World Cup. Okay, we just like to make it difficult for ourselves. Okay.
You have the flights booked already, Joe, have you?
Yeah, so I'm kind of praying for this.
We'll win the World Cup right in 2030 when we're co-hosts.
Yeah. Oh, that's a free. Thank you.
No.
One of the lads has texted me to say that only one player on the pitch has played Champions League football this season, and it's a Luxembourg fella. There you go.
Yeah, the guy with Dynamo.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I can't remember his name. He's played Champions League. She's good save by Bazunu, but it was a bit nervous there. Yeah,
done well though.
Yeah,
I think I'm ahead of you now on the stream.
We'd be in a lot of trouble if that went in. You know.
I think Mark Travers would feel very hard done by.
Yeah, he'd be sitting there smiling. That reminds me. Do you ever see? It was sometime in the World Cup when Jens Lehmann conceded the penalty, and they cut to Oliver Kahn. And he was sitting on the substitute bench smiling. I was like, be a similar thing today.
I don't remember that, but I can picture it pretty. Oliver Kahn had the constant demeanor of someone that was always really happy to see people fail.
Yeah, his performance against us. His performance against us in 2002 that was out of this world. The number of saves he made. Yeah, but thankfully Robbie did get past him right at the death.
Yes, right. So, that's right. Yeah. We have to do it dramatically, don't we?
So, it seems a long time ago now that we were drawing with the likes of Germany and Spain in World Cups and going out in penalties in the knockout stages. So
because it is, Gary, I'm afraid. There's some. I'm just watching this, and Luxembourg are almost too comfortable and too happy to pass it around. I think. Yeah. I think we're all well and good us giving them respect here, us chatting on this watch along, but I think from our actually team point of view, we are the home team. If we're looking to evolve our style of play and control the ball and pass and be one of these teams, we can't be letting Luxembourg come into our house and just hang it around with ease.
Yeah, they do look very comfortable on the ball, which isn't good to watch. Another thing that happened in 2002, by the way, Gavin Bazunu was born.
Gary, why are you doing this to us?
It's all right, lads. You're a lot younger than me, so think how I feel.
Yeah. Actually, good point. But it's how
just
go on, Jared.
Just to pick up on something you were saying earlier, Joe. You're kind of disappointed to say that Clark started that performance last night. I don't think you can lay any faults him so far tonight. He's got in a couple of good interceptions again. He was there for the man to cut out that latest Luxembourg attack. He made a fantastic clearance as well from that free kick and got a good block in as well. So he's justified his selection so far tonight, Henry. Really kind of probably him and Cullen, you'd have to say, so far have been the two best players.
No, I agree with you on that 100%. It's been not the greatest game so far.
No.
No, it hasn't been a great watch. I was very jealous of Paul earlier on. I probably still am very jealous of Paul being there. Probably all are, but it's not exactly a classic that we're missing. But it still would be fantastic to have fans in the Aviva. The only thing I would say though, if there were fans there tonight, and given the way the game has gone, I think it could be very difficult for the players and for Stephen Kenny, because I suspect it might be a night where we're better off without fans, because I think the crowd at this stage may have been on the players and managers' back at this point. So I don't know if people screaming at their TVs or whatever, but hopefully it'll be a lot better I don't know if we've time to nick one before half time, but hopefully we can nick one in the second half and at least get the win, which is all that matters ultimately. So,
it's 1 minute. Okay.
So that's one added minute now. Yeah.
Oh, hey, how are you, John? How are you, John? Thanks for the comment.
So you've got your fan club there, Joe.
Yeah. He spent years tracking me down.
So.
Oh, thanks for tuning in, John. Great to have you. What happened there?
Oh, it's a free out.
Yeah, I think Collins might have clobbered the keeper, or at least.
Yeah, no, it looked like a foul. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
He didn't go quiet, Henry Collins either.
Maybe
lucky he didn't get a yellow card even for that, because you can't really touch keepers too much these days.
That is a good save, to be fair. That is a good save that he made.
He does well, because I think he's aware of the
line.
situation. He's got space in front of him, so he pushes out and space in front of him, as opposed to maybe actually catching it, and momentum then would have taken him into the net, and probably would have been a goal then. So he done very well. He read that situation very well. I remember, was it a couple of years ago, and something happened to a Benfica goalkeeper against Manchester United in the Champions League? Yeah.
No, I think it was Benfica. Oh, it was Benfica. Yeah, I thought it was
Benfica. Yeah, it was a Radford, I think, with the free kick, and the man carried over the line.
It was great.
Yeah, I'm just gone half time here, guys.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts, Gerard? Your thoughts on the first half?
I suppose I could just do the press conference afterwards with Stephen and a few of the players. So I was just kind of making a couple of notes there. I have about a quarter of the page full, so it was that kind of half, unfortunately. As we kind of touched on there, probably that move that led to Collins' chance, and then we kind of regained possession after that, and another good move and led to a corner. They were kind of the only two real stages in that game where we had good fluidity to our pass, and we moved it quick with tempo and urgency. And you're kind of thinking, great, brilliant, now this will be the catalyst to kind of kickstart the rest of the half. And unfortunately, it never really kind of happened. We've kind of given the ball away cheaply a lot too often. And, okay, Luxembourg haven't hurt us or anything else like that, but for an away team, they're strolling and passing the ball around with comfort, with ease, getting no pressure really kind of put on them. That's kind of the biggest kind of thing I'm worried about, is the lack of kind of squeeze coming there in midfield. And they're able just to knock it about comfortably, because they'll be very happy with a draw. And, then they almost nearly got that goal then, as we touched on there, but Bazunu done very well. I think Bazunu has done very well, because a couple of crosses that came in under pressure, caught them well, showing no signs of nerves. As touched on, Clark as well has made a couple of good interceptions. Cullen's put a couple of good passes in midfield, but they're probably about the only positives so far. It's been very disappointing, but I think I was never expecting a goal fest, and I always kind of felt it was going to be a cagey enough game. I'm still confident enough in the second half that we will get over the line.
Joe, what do you think? What first half? Still scoreless.
Yeah, it's been pretty miserable. I agree with the guys. I thought, to be honest, I did think it would be slightly more comfortable than it was. Than it's been. Sorry, I thought we might have got an early goal and then maybe got one or two more in the second half. Luxembourg are playing with no fear, like a team that they shouldn't be. And from everything I've heard about them, that they are trying to play proper football the way we are, except we should be doing a lot better. So it's been frustrating for the fact that we haven't really created any chances, bar that one through Alan Brown, and maybe you could even say Luxembourg have had the better go of it. So we need a good few changes in the second half. They need to be a bit G'd up. So quite frustrated, and for the lack of how boring it is, mainly.
What's the crack,
Here's
boys?
Here's the boss man.
How you, Paul?
He's not hearing me still, no.
No, we can hear you.
Oh, we can, yeah.
All the way from the Aviva.
How about now? Here we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
What does make it that so far?
We've just been given our thoughts, and not too impressed so far. Probably more impressed with Luxembourg. They've been more comfortable on the ball. What are your thoughts? You're there. You get a better view than the rest of us.
I think we've been playing well. They've been frustrating us. We've been trying to play it out, obviously, from the back, and Bazunu, to be fair, has been absolutely amazing. He's always, whenever there's a defender in any sort of trouble, he comes and he's demanding it the whole time. You'd never think it was his first game. You'd never think it was his debut. He's been brilliant. And if I'm being honest, I think he's already picked Kelleher in that regard. I think he will be, picked and trusted. He's been really, really good, really vocal. He's telling experienced players, demanding the ball off them, telling them where to go. Really, really good. Obviously, the James Collins chance was the only big chance of the half, but that all started from Bazunu, played all around the back, and then out to Robinson. Good bit of play from Matt Doherty, out to Robinson, and then Collins. He hits it anywhere else at the goal. It was a really well worked goal. Look, everyone online, I know they're bitching and moaning, saying that it's crap and all this. I really, in the same, I don't think they've been frustrated. Like on the preview, Gary, that Ben said they would frustrate us, and they have been. We haven't been exploiting that left hand side, their left back side either, where we knew that they didn't have a left back. Matt Doherty's hardly seen the ball. It's been all coming out on Enda Stevens' side, but I think Enda Stevens has been really good as well. And look, I just think they've been frustrating us, but if we can manage to get in, we've had chances. Alan Brown's final ball has been horrendous though, up there, but I think the energy in and around the midfield is quite good. It's just literally they're kind of putting a lot of players behind the ball and just sitting in,
Yeah, it's interesting actually. You say because you're there's no fans. You can hear. I presume you can hear Gavin Bazunu then demanding and talking.
And Seamus Coleman, yeah.
Well, I think Seamus Coleman is always the one you'd expect, and you would. But for a 19-year-old goalkeeper, that's pretty impressive that he's telling the guys what to do and he has the confidence to do it. But anything I've heard about him, it's actually, I was telling the stories earlier on with the lads, that anything I've heard about Gavin Bazunu is he's a temperament from years beyond his tender years.
Well, I think the good thing is, look, we've got players like Malumbi and that can still come off the bench and give us that energy which we lacked when he came off the pitch the other day. So we still have decent options off the bench that we can bring on if needs be. We still have Robbie Brady and stuff like that. But I think we are lacking from set pieces, the corners, free kicks. Alan Brown's delivery just hasn't been good for me. And I feel like Collins is going to get one. And Robinson's been very good again, I have to say.
Okay, Ethan, have you any thoughts? Because I didn't come to you before Paul butted in.
I'd probably, that's vintage Paul, never mind him. I'd probably echo the other lads. It's just kind of frustrating half overall. I think if we look back at the Collins chance, I think he probably should and probably has to score there. I think it was good saved by the keeper, but like Paul said, if he hits that anywhere else, it's the goal. And I mentioned previously, we've had so many of those near misses in front of goal under Kenny and even under Mikabit, and I think that's, I suppose, evidence of the kind of the quality we have and what we're lacking. We're just lacking that kind of threat up top that'll, take the chance they get when they get it.
I just took that umbrella off your head there, Gary, for you.
Okay.
You looked a bit surprised. I agree with Ethan, I think. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Paul, you go on. Yes.
I'm just saying I agree with Ethan, but it is that where it's all close calls. We need to bury one. We need an early goal, and we need to we need to get a goal quick, because it's going to be very pressurised the last half an hour if we don't get a goal, and you'd be able to feel that tension among the players, I think.
Yeah, I think if it gets to 60, 70 minutes 0-0, you'll see Luxembourg become, I think, very happy to maybe sit in. Because a point for them would be a big result, the kind of big scalp even. So I think we'll be down to that thing, and the kind of the pressure gets in, and Luxembourg are kind of thinking, you know what, then you try and score, and they're not looking to kind of come out, and I think they'd be in real trouble.
Especially if they decide to try hitting the counter attack, because they do have good quality players and they have a bit of creativity spark in there. So if this is 0-0 with 70 minutes, they will sit back and try hit us, and it could be bad. We need to get a goal in the first 10 minutes coming back.
I think they're actually already playing quite a bit. They're not sitting back, and that they seem very comfortable in the ball. They seem quite willing to have a go, and I think we would be in major trouble if they were to get the first goal, because I think it'd be very difficult for us to get to. So
I think, Gary, they are sitting in, but what they're doing is cleverly they're catching us on the counter. They nearly got us, obviously, the one. I don't know if it actually hit the crossbar, but Gavin Bazunu done what Jordan Pickford should have done that Merseyside derby a few years ago, basically.
but you're over it, Paul. You're over it.
Yeah. you didn't remember that. You had to look that up, didn't you?
Yeah.
But other than that, we've been quite good, I think. And in terms of defensively, I think we've been quite good. And he's talking to all the defenders and he's letting them know if anyone's, because sometimes Dara O'Shea can be caught ball watching and someone getting in over his shoulder, and Bazunu has him all the time switched on. So I really, really, really think that it's a really, mature performance by Bazunu so far, and he looks really comfortable at this level.
Yeah, I think he's definitely been a find tonight, and it'll be tough to get him out of the team now. And you could well be right about moving ahead of Caoimhín Kelleher in the pecking order, because he's got his chance, and he is playing men's football this season. It might be in League One, but he is playing every week. And even in a struggling team, he's actually doing really well. He's getting rave reviews with Rochdale. So I think the music in the background's a lot of competition for you, Paul, is it?
Yeah, Skyfall, great flick.
If someone names the song, did I get a prize?
It's something to do with me, lads. I'm not a DJ, I just sort of jump on and get to see it.
I'd
See if
say
it's watching the same game as me,
nice.
And obviously you're not.
We
I'd say it's just nice to hear loud music on a Saturday night from a speaker. It's been a while.
we might take a quick break and have a word from our sponsor. Okay, guys?
I'll jump it out.
We just want to take a quick break to speak about our sponsors for this video and podcast, Team FeePay. As you can see in the image there, some of the clubs that Team FeePay has acquired, Shamrock Rovers being the main one so far. Team FeePay is an easy to use online payment platform that covers management and administration, finance, club development, communication, governance and COVID track and trace. Club administrators save hours of time with Team FeePay, save time on administration and finance. You can quickly confirm, decline and record attendance at club sessions and events. With a new database created, parents and players register with the system, which in turn creates and builds a player database for the club. Team groups can be easily set up for easy access to data. Real-time transaction updates. Team FeePay keeps club administrators or team managers updated on processed payments, but also flags up incomplete transactions and automatically emails the payee to give notice of a future attempt. Team FeePay already works with over 1,000 leagues, clubs and academies and are growing all the time. Team FeePay is proud to be helping clubs across multiple sports. Team FeePay is free to use, it's free to install by all of their members. There are no hidden fees, there is no sign-up fee, no annual fee and no monthly membership fee. The processing fee. Team FeePay charge a very modest fee for any financial transaction that they process, similar to the bank or other credit card processor fees. Book your Zoom demo today at teamfeepay.com or call on +353 1526 7499.
Okay, thanks for our sponsors for that. I think we've lost Ger, have we?
Officer down, huh?
So I'm sure he'll come back in a second, We got a comment from Declan. Time to bring on Long and play the long ball.
Oh, no, Declan. Bad, Declan. Bad.
I think Declan is a bring back Mick McCarthy or bring back, I don't know, Martin O'Neill.
Jack Charlton. Own hand. Any one of them.
He says here Bazunu as a keeper and a keeper.
He makes it good. Is that clever or not? I'm trying to figure. He's a keeper and a keeper, is it?
Yeah, lads. Actually, this is a good point. I presume this is from Paul. Can you get the likes in? Please give us a like. Give us if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And okay.
You've been told now.
Yeah, I might actually go grab a pint before the second half. I might need it, so I'll be back in a second.
I have my Guinness frothing beside me at the moment. No long ball. Bad, Declan. No, it's this is the time for us to actually, we're playing Luxembourg. We need to beat them by playing football. I think that should be the most base thing we can ask for.
Yeah, well, I think the important thing is, first of all, we have to beat them. I think we beat them.
Yeah. Look, if it gets down to the 8-9 minute and it's hit off, off Shane Duffy's arse when he comes on and is playing up front, fine, whatever. But I think up until the point where we absolutely desperately have to change it, we just have to
All right.
Hi, Paul. How's it going?
He's back.
It's the speaker pad in the background, is it?
Yeah.
It's pretty loud.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm jumping out. I'm just putting the Umbra back on for you. There you go. I'm jumping out, boys. Have a good one. Come on, Ireland.
See you, Paul. Yeah.
Take care.
I do agree with Chair's sentiments about that, though. It's nice to hear a bit of loud music, you know, coming from a speaker on a Saturday night.
Loud music on Saturday night. Oh, and then, you know, someone's drinking Guinness. You're just thinking, things could be so different.
Do you remember that? Do you remember what life was?
Of course, post-match, of course, like, you know.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, it's pretty miserable.
Yeah, I found Paul's point very interesting there about the number one situation that he reckons he could pass out Kelleher and all that. Obviously, there's no two ways about it. I think going forward with the age profile of the two of them, like, I think they're going to be very much battling out for that position. I still think it is going to be very early. I know 45 minutes in at this level, Bazunu has done very well, but I think it's fair to say, like, at Premier League level, the limited time, and Champions League level so far, Kelleher hasn't put a foot wrong, and it will be interesting to see when he's given his chance at this level, because he's only played for us so far for the 21s.
Yeah.
Well, it's really hopeful. It's really hopeful, actually, that we have. I mean, Kelleher at Liverpool, as you said, Jar. We've Gavin Bazunu at Manchester City, and obviously those clubs, two of the biggest clubs in England, reckon that these goalkeepers, these young goalkeepers, have a real chance, and it would be absolutely fantastic if we had both of them fighting it out for the number one jersey in the years to come.
Like, I was
Sorry, Joe, I cut you off. Yeah.
No. I'm used to it. I was only thinking, like, we had a solid 20 years where we went from Packy Bonner, and then it was a year with Alan Kelly, and then it was another 11 years or whatever it was with Shay Given, where we were just like, it's like being, you know, like Dublin goalkeeper at the moment, Stephen Cluckton, whoever was for that. That, like, we've kind of, this is what you might call a barren spell where we don't have a goalkeeper playing top class football. So I think it looks great for the future, because the three we'll say Travers didn't, you know, put himself in glory the other day, but I think going forward, the fact with the two we have, I do think it'll be very interesting that we could have hopefully a top class goalkeeper again in our ranks, at least one, if not two. Who did Brady come on for?
Oh, has he come on? I didn't see.
He has.
He came on there.
Let me check it.
That should say it now. Oh, well, Alan Brown's still there, so it's not him.
Jason Knight.
Is it Jason? Oh, okay. That's freight.
I'm just guessing now. Don't quote me. Don't quote me.
Oh, Doherty. He's come on for Doherty. Thanks, Connor Lester.
Okay.
Peter
there. That's what he wanted. He wanted to see Robbie Brady come on, and
he did. To be fair, yeah.
He reckons Robinson and Cullen are playing well. Yeah.
Do you reckon that Doherty, it's clearly from the knock that was picked up in the first half as opposed to his actual performance?
Well, I don't think he was doing much, to be honest. We'll go for the knock, but he didn't do much tonight. He didn't do much against Serbia, so it could be either. But I would say, yeah, that's fine. We'll say it down to the knock, because there were players playing worse, I guess.
Is Alan Brown gone to wing back now? To right wing back, where he's played quite a bit for Preston?
I think that seems to be the consensus on Twitter anyway.
Okay.
Good old trusty
Twitter. Twitter's never wrong, you know, just at Donald Trump.
You can't ask him on Twitter anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, I given that means two positional changes, I presume Doherty, it is the injury that Doherty picked up early on. So I wonder now, can Alan Brown get down the right-hand side and exploit their weakness at left back, because that might be our best route to goal now.
Yeah, well, they have to. Okay, Kieran Clark gave that away.
He's done that a few times. As much as I've praised him for his defensive side of things, I think coming out of the ball, he kicked one out over the sideline as well in the first half. RT picked that up in the analysis. I think it's RT kind of, I know maybe it's different from what Paul's looking at. He's kind of keeping the optimistic side, but I think as RT did touch on it at half time, there was a lot of sloppy play in that first half.
Yeah.
It's Serbia scored Mitrovic again.
Okay.
Mitro's on
So
fire.
2-1.
Game on then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's clumsy elbow to the back of the head.
Yeah, needless foul to give away, really.
They've actually taken off Dusan Vlahovic, the guy that got the first goal. I was very impressed with him on Wednesday night, but he's obviously not doing too well tonight because he only got half a game.
Or he could have went off injured, maybe.
I could have gone off injured, I suppose, but it seems like it was half time, so maybe it was tactical. Yeah.
But how was your trip to Belgrade anyway?
Oh, it was great. It's Belgrade's actually a lot more open than Dublin. So
Did you get a pint?
yeah, I did. I got a couple of pints in the hotel because the restaurants are closed, but they're open for hotel guests. So I was able to have a couple of pints for dinner on Tuesday night. But I wasn't there for very long. It was just a flying visit.
Yeah.
So
did you go for a local beer, or what did tickled your fancy, Gary?
Oh yeah, no, I'd always go for the local beer, you know. Yeah. It's normally pretty good when you go to these countries. You rarely get a bad beer.
Yeah.
So
what's your situation now with, like, I presume you have to restrict your movement again for 14 days as you did back in the autumn when you went to these trips?
No, it's different now. It's actually it's stricter in that it's quarantine, because in the old days you could actually, last autumn you could go out for walks and things, but now you're restricted to the house. But it's only 5 days and you can test, and then you're
that's good.
You're free.
All right.
So
so you still won't be able to go to Bray tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm able to work at games. That's the only exception. So I can't go to the shops. I can't go for a walk, but I am allowed work at games. So
that's good.
Oh, very good.
But it's
that's
5 days
more
actually.
Than like food or drink anyway.
Yes, absolutely. And with everything shut, it's not that much of a restriction, you know.
Yeah, that's rare.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, just see we got a free kick here out on the right, and it is. I see Robbie Brady is on set piece duty, which is probably what we were expecting. But no, it's not a great delivery. It's
there's not many people in the box.
It's been cleared. Yeah.
Oh, it's cleared. You're ahead of me again.
So,
Gary, you're miles ahead. The free kick hasn't even been taken yet.
Just been taken.
Okay.
Oh, that's a terrible free kick.
Shocking.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to refresh and
So
see if I get
if you were to pause your TV again maybe for a few seconds, Gary, so we'd be back on sync.
Okay, yeah, just let me get to it in a couple of minutes.
No worries.
A comment there from Connor. Interesting to look at the clubs that the Luxembourg midfielders are playing at.
Yeah.
The Champions League, Europa League, and top flight in Portugal, Ukraine, and Switzerland. Yeah, there is a decent standard. On the preview, Ben actually mentioned a lot of that, and they said the only guy in the Champions League is the guy with Dynamo Kiev, and so maybe we're a bit presumptuous, but even still, it's still Luxembourg. It's still a small country, and we have to be able to beat teams like this if we've any.
And again, like even. It's just even like looking like just even some of them like countries, I know, like, don't get me wrong, they're decent kind of standard and stuff like that, but like we still do have players playing the Premier League, and I would still regard the Championship as near enough par, if not maybe slightly above some of them leagues. Like, and just even the preview as well with Ben touched on your man that was, I don't know the player's name, but with Dynamo Kiev, that he just about got on for a Champions League match. So I imagine if he just played a handful of minutes in the Champions League, I imagine overall in general he's not a regular for Dynamo Kiev. So you'd still be thinking like quality for player, forget the kind of country size and population, still quality for player. You'd still think on paper we have a better what's out there. Like,
no, we definitely do. Like, definitely have a better squad. Like, there's no way that Luxembourg should be outplaying us. And in fairness, they're not. They're just kind of, like, we have more possession, we've more of the ball, and we should be creating more, but they're just very stoic at the back. Unfortunately, we can't seem to create anything. Oh, but there we go. Go on, Collins.
Free, surely. Oh, well done, mate.
No. Go on.
Oh, Mike got called. For God's sake. Oh, a bit of a
Yeah, but getting a bit tasty there between Enda
a
Stevens.
bit chippy. Yeah, come on, might need that. It could maybe give us a bit of a fire. Not saying that they're not kind of trying, but do you know what I mean? Maybe a bit of edge might help us.
Just to pick it up, kind of like
anything.
Divine intervention.
A comment there from Conor Edwards. Surely need to switch to 4 at the back and somehow get either up top or the middle of the park and go for the juggler. Yeah, what do you think? Conor reckons we should go for it.
That'll probably be the next change, I'd imagine. Maybe in the next 10, 15, is that we'll look to kind of throw more bodies forward in search of a goal. I guess the idea of the 3-5 or the 5, whatever it is that you'd have the likes of Doherty and Stevens able to kind of overload on the flanks and cause some problems there, but it hasn't been the case.
Yeah, it might be a more natural fit now that we could move Seamus Coleman to right back and hopefully have himself and Enda Stevens bombing with just the extra player further up might make a difference.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, lads?
Yeah, I mean, we have two strikers on the pitch, so I don't see why we can't put we've got Robinson and Collins up top together anyway.
So, and I see Conor Lester. He's not doubting we should still be beating Luxembourg. I think it's a fair comment. I think the people expecting a 5-0 were way off, but I still think we should be beating teams like Luxembourg. And
we've a free in.
Free kick here for Ireland.
30 yards out.
Yeah.
And it's Robbie Brady on the ball again.
Yeah, Collins did well with that. He took the ball down and straight away barged over in the back. He's kind of, I think, maybe as they maybe do tire a bit at the back, though, Collins will be a bit of a kind of pain for them, really, if he's there, getting amongst them.
Hopefully better delivery this time.
Yeah, we can make something out of this.
Poor Joe's getting awfully exasperated.
Alan Brown with a header. Oh, it's just wide.
For feck's sake.
That was just
delivery.
He should be doing better there.
Jesus Christ. He's on his own.
He should do a lot better.
Yeah, I think maybe
he hit the target.
Maybe he didn't realize how open he was, but that's a poor record considered.
That's very bad.
He could have taken that down.
He literally could have taken that down. I was going to say that.
He could have opened up a corner shop there. He had that much space, I think. But again, that goes back to we're really just when it gets to the final third, that kind of cutting edge, we just don't have it. We're just not able to. If that's Mitrovic, that's a goal. If that's any number of other players, it's probably a goal. It's just the one thing we're lacking is that player with a bit of instinct, that bit of confidence that they're going to score a goal and they get the chance.
Just I suppose the one good thing we talk about the importance of set pieces, like that was a much better delivery that time. It was hit the exact spot that you'll be looking for. Just even on Brown, just a nervous moment there. But who got back? Was it Coleman?
Coleman, yeah.
Coleman, yeah.
Coleman
just even
back,
on Brown's execution, I think like he kind of didn't make his firm contact and snatch it. He kind of almost thinks maybe it was a low cross, but he kind of seemed to duck down a small bit. And I think he kind of probably thought maybe there was someone kind of coming up behind him, as you said, Ethan. Like he had the freedom of the Aviva Stadiums himself.
Yeah, I think maybe Adam Foley should have gotten a call up after last night. To be honest, someone that's in good scoring form, got that bit of confidence. He'll take a chance if he gets it.
It's basically the two lads that scored for Sligo last night aren't Irish.
Yeah, I see Slovakia have turned it around and back to 2-2 at home to Malta, so they'll probably go on and win that. But the Czech Republic have gone 1-0 up at home to Belgium. So that would be a massive result if they could hang on to that.
Well, that's ruined my bet completely.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that's ruined your night, Joe.
Yeah, that one specifically. But also I had Ireland to win as well, so maybe my
tell us your bet now. Come on, give us your bet.
Well, no, it's definitely going to happen now because I'm telling you. But it's Portugal to win, Ireland to win, and Belgium to win. I got a 4-1, and and it's not 4-1 anymore.
Is that another free
kick
in
here again?
Yeah. I reckon Robbie Brady's going to put this straight in the net. What do you see? He's going to go for an in-swinger, and that keeper won't come, and it's going to go far corner.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Call him a shot.
Yeah.
Okay, and since keeper's on his line, this is
sugar. little points. What do you see?
This will go viral now if this goes in now, just so you know.
I'll get a job. I'll get a job.
So someone has to take their shirt off if this goes in. If you want if you want this to go viral, Joe, you have to think outside the box. And hopefully this will be a good delivery into the box.
Oh, it's a terrible delivery. Absolutely shocking delivery. Yeah.
Because
he
Went
lives
into
in
the
that.
hands. Yeah.
A bit more whip on that, and I was right. I'm just, if you put more curl on, that was illegal. Thankfully, I think for the viewers at home, all our shirts can stay on. So look, I mean, you win some, you lose some.
Go on, Brown, though. Brown.
Fuck's sake.
He's not racist anymore.
What sub are we looking at next, lads?
Are we looking at Shane Long, maybe?
I'm thinking Shane Long.
I think so.
Yeah.
For who, though?
Troy Parrott, something unknown.
Oh, I don't know.
You know what? I'm actually kind of fancy Daryl Horgan. I think
I don't think he's in the squad.
Was he not? I thought he was.
I don't think he is. Actually, I don't think he made the match day squad. No.
Oh, well, then that's a fucking waste. No, I have him here. I have him here, number 14. Yeah, I think in the last round of games that he played, he was one of the more inventive players that actually was a bit more direct and tried to make something happen. And I think we need someone that's just gonna pick the ball and try and run, and a bit of urgency about the play, because it's a lot of just to you, to me, the Chuckle Brothers kind of carry on, and that's the longer this goes on, we need to really look for a goal.
Yeah, I think in fairness to Horgan,
he's on the bench as well. Maybe give James McLean a run.
Oh no!
Don't say that in front of Joe.
No.
me.
I love James McLean, but just no thanks.
Or maybe Jason Malumbi for the energy that he brings. I thought there was great energy from him in the first half in Belgrade. So just maybe a bit more energy in midfield.
You can make 5 substitutions, can't you? Still at international level.
I think so. Yeah.
So I can definitely see. I can definitely see a double substitution coming inside the next 5 minutes or so, or maybe a triple substitution. But I'd agree as well with Ethan. I think Daryl Horgan, anytime he's played in an Ireland shirt, he's never had a bad display. I even go back as far as one of Martin O'Neill's latter matches, that game against the USA. I was excellent second half that game. But obviously more recently, I thought in some of the Couple of Nations League matches early on in Wembley against England, when we started off decent, I thought a lot of the good play came down his side and involved him. So he definitely wouldn't be someone I'd be afraid to bring on, and I'd probably be a bit biased as well. He's a fellow West of Ireland man like myself, so I wouldn't mind seeing him come on.
There was a chance there they played the wrong pass to Brady. If he played, I don't know, was it Robinson or Collins in? They had a chance in to go into the box.
Oh,
and we have
James McLean
on for Clark.
Yeah, that's a surprising substitution. I don't think any of us would have predicted that. Yeah. So we've only two. We've Seamus Coleman and Darrow O'Shea then as centre backs, is it?
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah, but at least it shows we're going for it.
And McLean's playing left wing back, I guess, with Alan Brown the other side, I guess.
Oh, well, Enda Stevens would be.
Enda Stevens. Sorry, Enda Stevens, yeah. There's McLean there, and there's Stevens in, Stevens and Darrow O'Shea there, and and Coleman's on the other side.
Oh, Gavin Bazunu, you beautiful man.
Oh, good save! Oh!
Yeah, he needed to make that save.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was like watching. That like time slowed down for me there. It was.
I mean, as we're saying, whatever chance we have of winning 1-0, if we go a goal down, I can't see us winning 2-1. I think we're in serious trouble.
Ethan, I think you made the right decision getting that Guinness, and it's 2-2 in the Serbia game. Oh,
that's bad news as well.
So what are you going to do when the World Cup is on now instead, Joe?
I think what we're going to do, right? We're going to conscientiously object to the World Cup on human rights grounds.
Yes.
And then then no one cares.
And then everyone loves us at the same time.
Yeah, then we're just, paragons of humanity and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But it's interesting, actually. Norway are probably the only country that seriously looked at that, and they had a motion to the Football Federation to actually boycott the World Cup in Qatar. And they managed to get it deferred and everything. But today they were hammered 3-0 at home. Well, at home in Spain, admittedly, but hammered 3-0 by Turkey.
By Turkey,
and they're probably already out of contention at this stage now. Nearly.
Jesus!
Oh God!
Fuck me!
We are having some nervous moments here at the back.
This is not on. It's gone from the stage of like, oh, we'll get a goal to here we're in bother. Like, they was offside anyway. But if Luxembourg keep doing this, they're gonna think they can win, and that's what we don't want at all.
So.
Yeah, I'd get the rosary beads out.
I'm Guinness, that's enough. Oh, you fucking... Oh, bollocks. Lads, I don't know if we're going to win the World Cup, if I'm being honest.
Oh, I don't want us to win it on humanitarian grounds. So,
oh, sorry.
I do think France are a bit nervous. Although Luxembourg actually drew with France as well, so maybe we're not doing too badly.
Oh, they did actually. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and France went on to win that World Cup from that campaign. So keep doing it, lads.
How had France done in their previous 9 games beforehand? Out of curiosity.
I know for a definite fact. The previous game before Luxembourg, they bet the Dutch 4-0, and I think that was Mbappe's first couple of goals for France. So
I think it's
I don't think we can replicate that.
No.
Oh, bollocks. Do you hope that we make some sort of statement against Qatar? Because didn't Germany do something as well, or did someone else? It wasn't just Norway who did a protest. I think Germany did something too.
Yeah, well, Norway actually looked at boycotting it. I think a couple of countries have actually worn T-shirts. I mean, and it's I can't remember what the slogan said now, but the actual threat to boycott it is, I think, much more serious.
That's unfair play to them. Like,
I'd be in favor of that.
Yeah, I would be 100% in favor of it.
I think the fact that it's still going on in Qatar is disgusting. And,
me too.
There's no other. Even a couple of years ago when the whole FIFA scandal came out, and we kind of got proof that it had been bought and paid for and rigged, and it was still let carry on. I think it's.
Yeah, I'm amazed they've been allowed to keep it, given everything that came out. But it's too late now, I think, to change it. Errol reckons we're 6-4 now in the live. I haven't checked this, but we're 6-4 in the live betting.
Something we said first.
That's not good.
Yeah, I wouldn't exactly be putting a lot of money on it either at the current performance.
Sure, you don't need the mortgage payment for this month. I'll let you away with it. Go on, take it on. Lads, the Luxembourg are playing too well. It's really
Belgium have equalised, so your bet is still on, Joe. Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah,
so
but Serbia look, Luxembourg are happy out here. They're pushing. They're having all the ball.
There's literally no reason why they can't score. Oh fuck!
If you had three draws, you'd have been better off.
Go on, Jimmy. Play man. Run, James.
Oh, bad ball into Brady. Playing it behind him. Oh, good pass by Brady though.
Luxembourg are 7-1 according to Errol.
That might
not
be
a bad bet.
Yeah, I would hedge your bet, Joe.
Although, is it looking like another 0-0 at the Aviva? The last 2 home games have been scoreless draws against Wales and Bulgaria.
Ref, we're finished. Go, do something.
What's happening?
For fiddler's fuck.
Callum Robinson had a chance, but it's gone. He just blazed it over.
Look, you take your points and the goals will come.
So.
Vieira's head up. Who was that? Was it Brady in Akers on the D?
He was,
10-11 for 0-0, which to me seems to be the bet looking. Hopefully it's wrong, but that's the way it's going. 67 minutes gone now, and it's still scoreless. And I don't know, Stephen Kenny can't be too happy with this because I think he's going to, if we don't get a win, and as I was saying earlier on, had there been crowds in the stadium now, I think it would be pretty bad, and I think the players would be under a lot of pressure. And it's definitely a game that we're probably better off without the crowds. Because I don't know, if you're 1-0 down against the likes of a Denmark or Serbia or Portugal, you'll get the crowd urging you on. But if you're 0-0 against Luxembourg at home with 23 minutes to go, you're I don't think the crowd are still on your side.
I agree.
Fuck. Oh, what's going on here? Luxembourg a good break on here. What can they do though?
Way too much space as well.
They're
Ethan,
very
your side-
comfortable. They are actually very comfortable on the ball, passing the ball, and
It looks like when they have the ball, they have a plan going forward. They seem to know what they want to do, whereas we get it up and kick it around for a bit. Not to,
it's
not
actually
to kinda,
what Ben said is, and I think it's proven to be very accurate tonight, that they have in the midfield, they have players who are very comfortable on the ball. They probably don't have a top quality striker, so they haven't taken any of the chances, but they are very comfortable in the ball. They are creating chances. And I suppose they're just as likely as we are to win it at this stage with 22 minutes to go. And if
very
anything,
depressing.
we've slowed down and gone off the boil a bit lately, you know.
Big time. There's no even
there needs to be subs
passage.
here. This is
Oh my God.
There's nothing from the second half that you can suggest that, like, oh, we're not far from getting a goal. Like Brown's header from Brady's free kick, that was it. Like where Bazunu has had to make 2 saves, and they're just passing the ball now. Like what I was saying, in the first half, they're passing the ball with freedom, no pressure on them in their own half. Now they're doing that within our own half.
Well done, James. Great play from Collins there to kind of
Collins has played well recently. Wins a free kick for himself.
Ethan,
Declan Fitzpatrick, imagine what Portugal will do to us. Our next competitive game after tonight is Portugal away on September 1st. Hopefully we'll have fans at that. But yeah, Declan, it sounds on this performance it's a little bit scary, all right. So
play it back, Jesus Christ. Come on.
So Ross is unfortunately, Ross, this is going to become a topic, because how many games can Ireland go without a win and Stephen Kenny keep his job? Put a number on it. Oh, that was a great effort just wide. Ross, I'm still hoping we can win this game tonight, which will get the monkey off his back. But if we don't win tonight, you see, I don't know whether Qatar, I suppose Qatar becomes a lot more important, even though it's only a friendly, if we don't get the win tonight. I was reading in today's Irish Examiner that our likely 2 friendlies are possibly Hungary or Scotland in Spain, and then Malta or Andorra. Now, you would have to think that they would be one of the wins, but if you're talking competitive wins, you're getting into September, and if the September window was to go wrong, as well as this window, I think he could be under a lot of pressure, and maybe even under pressure after tonight. But there's still 20 minutes to go, and hopefully we can get the goal and get the win. But it is a worrying time.
I was having flashbacks to last night.
Yeah.
So maybe we're just getting that little bit closer, but
just even on that competitive.
Sorry, go on, Jer.
So just even on that note of a competitive win, Gary. Like if we don't get a goal inside the next 20 minutes, as you touched on, because it's September before we play our next competitive game, it's going to be over 2 years since we last won a competitive match. And that was against Gibraltar in the last campaign. Like, so that's even a very worrying stat as well that's facing us.
Yeah. I mean,
I
in
will say
2019... Sorry, Ethan. Yeah.
No, I'm saying the last couple of minutes we've actually had a bit more urgency and, had a couple of chances, and I think that needs to be us the next 20 minutes. Has to be full throttle. You know what I mean? I think it's getting, die dog or shout the license. There's not really much else for it.
Yeah, no, I think we have to really go for it now, and because look, we just got to get the win. And you're right, Ethan. I think in the last couple of minutes, we have been on top, created a couple of opportunities, and maybe they can get nervous as well. They can see the finishing line, 20 minutes to go, and it would be a famous point for Luxembourg. But it's
Shane Long, yeah.
yeah.
Can he be the hero again?
Please.
We just need a goal, Shane.
Yeah.
We know it's a long shot.
Oh,
Good pun.
even
It's going to be number 12. That's Callum Robinson. He's coming off.
yeah, I think the second half's kind of passed him by a bit. I also think partly because we just haven't held the ball and really had much in the way of kind of forward chances. But I definitely think I would have had high hopes from tonight after his performance on Wednesday.
Actually, I'm not 100% sure on this. Maybe someone can confirm in the comments. But although there are 5 substitutes, I think it's still 3 breaks in play, which we would have now had our.
Half time doesn't count as one though.
Half
so we can
time
still
doesn't
use
count. Yeah, sorry, we
so
still have
still
one,
use
isn't
one.
it? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we still have one. Yeah.
Okay. So we can still do a double substitution,
Yeah.
Get up.
So this is getting really frustrating. I mean, we just need to find a goal, because if we do get the win, it definitely buys Stephen some time. Our next competitive game isn't for 6 months, and if we get the win, I think a lot of the performance can be forgotten. But if we don't get the win, I think the papers won't make pretty reading tomorrow.
No, and it becomes harder to defend. Not that I would ever advocate for him to go or anything like that, but it makes your case of give him time, let him instill a philosophy. There's only so far you can only so much slack you can get with that.
Yeah. Who was it that was it Malta that Mick drew 0-0 against? Or remember back in 97 or 90, one of his first games, and they did a lap of honour around the pitch.
Iceland. Oh no, it was Iceland. He drew 0-0 with Iceland at home to Iceland. And I think it was John Aldridge on the bench, and he brought on Alan Moore, I think, famously.
Yeah. So there is precedent.
Aldridge retired after that game as well, didn't he?
Yeah. No, but Iceland were a lot worse then than they are now. But I think they were still a level above Luxembourg. So,
but Errol Kim has it there actually. Is Liechtenstein, wasn't it, as well?
That was the tail end of Big Jack. Yeah.
Oh, that was Jack. Okay.
With Liechtenstein. Yeah, that's probably the worst result, the 0-0 draw away to Liechtenstein, or the 5-2 defeat by Cyprus.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
2006. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the defeat in Macedonia.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like the Luxembourg fellow has hurt himself, or he's trying to avoid a booking. I don't know.
He might be just trying to avoid a booking.
Yeah, because he absolutely cleaned. Was it Cullen?
Yeah. Jason Knight, I think.
Or Jason Knight.
Oh yeah, it was Knight. Yeah. That's filth. He's just kicked him in the leg.
Yeah. I think Killian reckons. I think that's probably right that we had 36 efforts on goal last night. I think that's actually correct. It was an absolutely crazy game. We just did everything but score. We just battered them for 90 minutes. The ball just wouldn't go in. Because we went there the following year and we were 4-0 up after about 15 or 20 minutes, and the game was over. But it was just one of those days.
Yeah. That was Mick's first competitive game, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he touched on the 5-2 against Cyprus that time. Even their first fixture, we get a last-minute goal from Steve Finnan to draw in Croke Park. Like, you could add that to that list as well. Although Cyprus were very good in that qualifying campaign for Euro 2008, they beat Wales quite comprehensively as well.
Yeah.
And they drew with Germany, actually.
Yeah, good shout, Earl. Smash the like button, lads. Come on, get it. Get the likes up.
Yeah, this number 18 seems to have really hurt himself.
You can like or watch along, even if you don't like the result or the performance.
Yeah.
I hope you're not blaming us for it anyway. It's not our fault. We're not there.
If we were making 2 subs, lads, who would you want on?
Troy Parrott. Oh, they headed it off.
Hang that.
Go on.
Come on, lads.
Come on. Hold on. Who's that? Coleman. Yeah.
Why are they going out?
Look at the overlap.
Oh god, this is really frustrating, guys. It's
I can't
I'm just
believe
I'm
this.
gonna have a check of the other results and just to
Oh,
distract
here,
me
what are
from
you doing?
this. It's still 2-2 in Belgrade, Serbia 2, Portugal 2.
Go! Penalty!
No.
Penalty!
No.
Yes!
No.
This is small nation agenda. I'm not happy with this at all.
Yeah, it's still 2-2. Slovakia still 2-2. They got the 2 early goals in the second half, but they haven't kicked on from that.
Fuck's sake.
And the visitors are making a sub now. One of the Thill brothers is going off. But I don't know anything about the guy coming on. So, is it the first sub? I think you might be right, actually. Yeah.
It is their first sub, yeah.
Maybe they only have 11 good players. And we're going to find out now.
Yeah, it is actually the first sub. So, I don't know, guys. This is not looking good at all. We're heading for the last 10 minutes, and we've created very little. It's not as if their goalkeeper has been stand out. He made one save from James Collins in the first half, but
you could live with that. We've kind of gotten pretty good at taking moral victories from games the last year, 18 months. So but we don't even have that to fall back on tonight so far, at least.
No.
Look, there's still plenty of time for this to be 4-0, okay? I don't know who it'll go to, but it could happen.
You're expecting a goal every 2.5 minutes. Jeez, that's good going. This has been a dour contest for 80 minutes.
Go on! Oh, McLean.
Oh, knock it on. Oh, that's... Don't tell the refs called that off.
For fuck's sake.
No, the free to Luxembourg. So we've just got 10 minutes to go. I don't know. This is not looking good. Hopefully, just a bit of inspiration, a bit of magic. We could have done with a Wes Houlihan. Could we have done with Aidan McGeady? He had another assist for Sunderland today. They had another good win. Is he too old? 34, but
that's a stretch. Look at Rodrigo. Good old Rodrigo there, as we always win at last minute. Remember, absolutely.
Just so far on the 3 substitutions brought on, Brady, McLean, and Long. Who would you think so far has kind of stood out? I think Brady hasn't done too bad. I know his set pieces have been hit and miss, and that's been generous. But he put a very good cross in there for Long for that chance. And I think in general, some of his deliveries haven't been too bad from open play anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think he's imposed himself enough on the game, though. Yeah.
Don't think anyone really in green shirt has.
No, we haven't.
Brady should be, pulling all the strings. You'd hope. But they've all been relatively anonymous, I think. The whole team has, really. Call a spade a spade.
Yeah. Lads, this is at home to Luxembourg. Come on. Yeah.
And here they come again. I will say, as an aside, I've been very impressed by Luxembourg. We haven't played super well, but I'm actually, they get it down and they try to ping it about. They're actually not a bad watch.
Oh my god! And they'll be delighted to hear that from you.
Yeah, there you go. Look,
that was even a chance there and a poor through ball.
Poor ball by Brady. Self and Long not in the same wavelength.
I'm more than happy to be Luxembourg's Irish football correspondent. I hear you're very wealthy. I like money.
It's probably there's probably a vacancy for that, actually. So
I got a great tax rate anyway. Well done.
Their manager hasn't put the jacket back on anyway.
He must have heard me.
I see. Anyone look at this?
Any bit of inspiration, anything, what can happen? Who's going to do something? You know.
I think it'd be more likely it's us than anyone on the pitch.
I think
Here's-
we could do with
Here's a comment from Ross. Shane Long should start every game. 17 goals, fourth highest goal scorer of all time. What do you think, guys? Shane Long up top every game?
No.
I'm gonna say no. He
Same
had
as
that
well.
little purple patch probably about 6 years ago now. Where you were kind of clamoring from the start, and I think it was a fair enough thing to call for. But now I think we need to be starting to look at other players. And it's not, I think
He's
I don't
32
know
as well.
we need to put some subs on here. I think we need more legs, more something, because this just hasn't worked.
Yeah, it's just not happening. And speaking of Shane Long, he's just given away a free kick there. I think it's a handball. I presume the ref has called it for.
Yeah. Oh, that's a clear as day. God, that's
such a handball.
That's back in his Tipperary days.
Jesus Christ.
It's
He must
not
have
looking.
thought he must have thought it was a size 5 O'Neill's coming his way or something.
Yeah, dear.
I just hope some bit of magic or even a mistake or something can happen. It's still
Yeah,
Serbia 2, still Serbia 2, Portugal 2. But frankly, guys, that result doesn't matter unless we get a winner tonight. It's still 1-1 between the Czech Republic and Belgium as well.
I just don't know why. I think Alan Brown hasn't really exerted his will on this at all. I'd like to see someone like Daryl Horgan come on and take your pick of Parrott or anyone that's just going to give us something different, something fresh. There's only so many times you can kind of keep this 11 on the field and nothing can happen.
Who instead? I would say, Collins, Connolly, Robinson.
Oh no!
Literally all of them head along. Long's 32. What do you want from him? And all he has is his pace. That's great for 20 minutes. So what's the?
Oh my fuck!
This has just got 10 times worse.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Goal! Fuck
a long clearance from the goalkeeper, and it just bobbled around. And the Luxembourg number 10, the striker, I can't see his name, has put one in the bottom corner from outside the box.
I said that the longer it went on,
nil, Luxembourg won.
They were going to fancy their chances here.
Yeah, and they're gone absolutely nuts here. And
so they should. That's a great strike. Yeah, in fairness,
it's a great goal, great strike.
Super strike.
I was talking about a moment of magic to win the game, but I was actually hoping it would have been someone in a green shirt would do it.
Now, before we restart here, is this the thing we're going to do now, and we're going to get a draw? And we're going to do the typical Irish thing where we're going to go a goal down with 10 left, or 5 in this case, and we're going to start to play football.
I don't know, Ethan, but even a draw at this point is... I don't. Maybe we will get a draw. We've snatched a draw, as you said. We've done it a few times. We've battled better teams than Luxembourg in the last few minutes and got a draw. But
this is scandalous. All the
same. This was an absolute must-win game, and it's
right. Corner kick.
Come on, a good delivery.
Please, God.
So.
I don't know. We're all just kind of sat here.
I can't believe this.
Oh, this is just a total disaster.
Oh,
Gerson. It's over. Gerson Rodriguez is the goal scorer's name, by the way.
What's his
that
club?
Means anything to you?
My
app doesn't give his club. Sorry, but
I'll get on the Google machine. So, is that the Dynamo Kiev boy? Is that the Kiev fella? It is, yep. It's the Dynamo Kiev player, yep. 25 years old, born in Portugal.
Anyway, guys, back to Ross. If it's not Shane Long up top, who are your two strikers? If we're playing with two strikers, who are your two strikers?
I'd take fucking Shane Duffy at this rate.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I think Robinson, wasn't the best night, but I think he needs a strong midfield behind him to kind of give them opportunities and chances. And then you probably Ida, I guess, for maybe the kind of physical aspect along with him. He's not able to play this time. Collins has done okay, but I think again that chance that he spurned, if that goes in, this is probably an entirely different game, and it's a chance he should have scored.
Joe, who would your two strikers be if not Shane Long?
Robinson and Connolly. The only reason it's not Shane Long is just too old. There's no point in having a 32-year-old as your starting striker looking to the future. I'd rather we're not going to do anything with Shane Long as our starting striker. So we have to look to the future. It doesn't make sense to have him. He's perfect to have on the bench to come on with 20 minutes to go, even though he's not doing anything now.
What are we doing? Well done. This is
Ger, who would your strikers be?
I'd probably agree with Joe as well. I think it'd be Connolly and Robinson. Maybe Ida in time to come if he can kind of progress and kick on, but it hasn't fully happened for Norwich, small bit with injuries. I agree with Joe. I know the comment was saying he's our fourth highest scorer, but I think if I'm correct in saying, I think the last time he scored for Ireland was that Moldova game away, and that's 5 years ago this October. I said it earlier, he's always been better as an impact player off the bench for Ireland. Again, as Joe said, with his pace, he's one of them that he's better kind of with short spurts for 20 minutes, half an hour, where I think if he came in from the start, defenders would kind of work away to deal with him, figure it out after 30, 40 minutes. So that's what I would agree.
And by the way, and his comment when he said 32 isn't that old is just sums up exactly everything he's saying. So 32 isn't that old for what? For being a footballer. You retire in 2 years after that. No.
But the only thing is Collins is now touching the age category as well. He's in his 30s, so there can't be much more left in him as well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think we've anybody that's putting their hand up and saying, I have to start regularly. I'd probably agree with Connolly and Robinson. Probably Connolly for me is the one that has to start. But there still isn't enough goals there. But I would have Shane Long as an impact sub off the bench. Yeah, Ethan, good shout at him, Foley. He may come into the reckoning if he keeps scoring goals.
Look. He's the form Irish striker at the minute.
Oh, it's... well, when Finn Harps win the league and they're playing Champions League football next year, I think he'll definitely have a good shout for after that. So
I'd say so, yeah. He is, I think he has 4 in his last 6 starts. That's pedigree. That's going back to October, November, obviously, as well. But
and I'm sure Ollie Horgan will be in the comments now saying Finn Harps have a much better chance of playing Champions League football next season than we have of going to the World Cup. So that's probably a fair comment.
Ollie Horgan would be saying anything the like. He'd be saying, and they did say yesterday, 6 points would keep you in the division.
Yeah.
Is he?
I think this year you'll stay up comfortably. I'm just trying to distract us from what's on the TV screen at this stage because it's pretty painful. But,
what's his buyout clause, Ethan?
I'm not willing to disclose such information publicly.
Right.
Can the FAI afford it, Ger? Is that what you're asking?
Well,
Paul Hegarty.
We're still waiting on a ground, so we get back and talk to me then, maybe. Go on.
Yeah, we need Paul Hegarty to come with him actually because it is a great double act.
Yeah.
2 legends.
Absolutely. I mean, in fairness, it's been absolutely incredible.
Ooh, well done with the keeper.
This is a bad night. It remains Serbia 2, Portugal 2. Very good, very decent result for Serbia.
Just one for yourself, Gary, obviously, because you've been around longer than us and going to matches as far back as the 70s. If this result stands the way it is, would this be the worst result you ever would experience in your life following the boys in green?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I had said the worst one probably that I'd experienced was the Cyprus 5-2, given that it was Cyprus and given that it was 5-2. But I mean, this is a home defeat by Luxembourg, a team that, look, we've just always beaten. They've never beaten us before. And
it's not as if they've robbed it either. That's the thing as well.
That's it.
It'd be one thing we were, if we had 35 shots and didn't score and they robbed it off something, but this is far from it.
Yeah. And I mean, we can't even say they don't deserve it. They haven't been lucky or anything like that. I mean, they were probably well worth the draw at least. And if anyone deserved to win, unfortunately, it probably was Luxembourg. And that moment of class and a great goal by Gerson Rodriguez. And it looks like it's going to. Well, it's what have we got?
Look, you never
We're
know.
out of time now, So
We're going to try.
I would say the Cyprus result is worse if we lose this because the quality of player was better. But
We had a
it's
lot
not
of
long
injuries for that
difference.
Cyprus game, though. That's the only thing, in fairness, like back then.
yeah, but we were actually a shambles that night, and it was still Cyprus,
shocking,
and
like.
it was 5 goals,
Yeah. And we actually took the lead in that match as well and conceded straight away, and that's where it all just went
Yeah.
downhill.
Paddy Kenny never played again after that. I think he was very sore that he took a lot of the blame, which was unfair because I think we were all over the place at the back and we had no central midfield, so it wasn't one person to blame,
Jesus Christ.
We're heading into the last 30 seconds here. If we can, I don't know, conjure up something.
This is just playing into their hands as well. Long ball, like chase and desperation stuff.
Oh, it's so easy.
Great tackle from Luxembourg fella.
When you see the standards of the LOI, what to expect, you want to watch yourself. Oh, they're not going to get fucking 2. Okay, good.
No, it's all right. But I think that's it, folks. It's the 4 minutes are up.
This is awful.
Ball is in their keeper's hands.
Yeah, that's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
That's it, guys. Unfortunately, it's finished Republic of Ireland 0, Luxembourg 1. Stay tuned to the channel, guys, because we'll have our players' ratings and we'll have 3 talking points from Paul tonight. And you'll get instant match reactions from Paul and myself as well. But thanks for watching. And unfortunately, not a good night for the Republic of Ireland as it finished Republic of Ireland 0, Luxembourg 1. Thanks, guys.
See ya.